The most controversial nude paintings in history. Controversy has followed nude painting for centuries, not because the human body itself changed, but because societies kept changing how they interpret it. What one era called divine art, another called scandal. Some paintings were even hidden, banned, attacked, or ridiculed before later being celebrated as masterpieces. Here are some of the most controversial nude paintings in history, works that shocked their audiences and reshaped the boundaries of art. Edward Manet, Olympia, 1863. One of the most infamous art scandals in history is Olympia by Edward Manet. 7. When it was first exhibited in Paris Salon of 1865, audiences were outraged. Why? Because Manet broke every rule of traditional nude painting. The subject is not a mythological goddess, but a modern woman. She looks directly at the viewer, unapologetic and confrontational. Her body is painted in flat, unidealized realism. A maid and a black cat add social and sexual tension. At the time, viewers were used to idealized Renaissance-style nudes. Olympia felt too real, too modern, and too direct. Today, it is seen as a turning point in modern art. Francisco Goya, The Nude Maha, circa 1797 to 1800. Another groundbreaking work is The Nude Maha by Francisco Goya. 6. Unlike mythological nudes of earlier eras, this painting shows a realistic woman reclining with direct gaze and no narrative disguise. The controversy came from two major factors. The model appears to be an identifiable contemporary woman. There is no mythological or religious justification for nudity. This led to accusations of obscenity. In fact, Goya was investigated by the Spanish Inquisition for this work. What makes it historically important is that it challenged the idea that nude art had to be disguised as mythology. Gustave Courbet, The Origin of the World, 1866. Perhaps one of the most controversial paintings ever created is The Origin of the World by Gustave Courbet. 5. This painting was so provocative that it was hidden from public view for decades after its creation. Why it shocked the world? It is an extremely direct realist depiction of the female body. There is no mythology, symbolism, or narrative buffer. It confronts the viewer with raw physical reality. For much of its history, it was kept in private collections and only later displayed publicly in museums under strict conditions. Today, it is studied as a key work of realism, but it still carries strong debate about boundaries between art, privacy, and representation. Titian, Venus of Urbino, 1538. Even Renaissance masterpieces were once controversial. One example is Venus of Urbino by Titian. 5. Although it is now celebrated, in its time it was debated for its intimate and sensual realism. Unlike earlier mythological Venuses, this figure feels personal, grounded in domestic space, and emotionally direct. Its controversy reflects how Renaissance art was slowly shifting toward human-centered realism. Why these paintings caused shock? Across centuries, the same themes repeat, breaking from mythology into realism. Showing real bodies instead of idealized gods. Direct gaze that confronts the viewer. Social commentary hidden in nudity. Shifting control from religious interpretation to personal expression. What changes is not the nude body, but what society believes the nude body means. The pattern behind the scandals. Looking at these works together, a clear pattern emerges. Every controversial nude painting was once considered too modern for its time. Renaissance nudes were once shocking compared to medieval art. Realist nudes shocked academic traditions. Modern nudes broke moral and social expectations. Over time, almost all of them moved from scandal right-pointing arrow debate right-pointing arrow acceptance right-pointing arrow masterpieces. The history of nude painting is really the history of changing human comfort with truth, realism, and the body itself.